Hi, my name is Chai. I represent Runaway Tribe and F.A.T.E.S. I am the creator of the Rival School series in Las Vegas, and with this last event I decided to put in the F.A.T.E.S system, and this is my feedback to Bboy Dyzee, which we talked about, and we're trying to get show you the results of what has happened. And just to be clear, the F.A.T.E.S system that we have here is not affiliated anywhere to the R system, even though it's based off of it and is used almost the same, but there's no connection anywhere between. So it's just to make sure that I'm okay with it and Dyzee has no problem with it too. So just to be clear real quick, we didn't just pick up the system, went on the website, read it, and just said, hey, we got it. No, we made sure we ran through a few process. We practiced the F.A.T.E.S system, meaning that we watched through some battles. I would probably say we watched about 10-15 battles from the recent and previous R16 events that has happened. So we get to see their scores, and we get to see our scores, and we get to see our trials and errors. We get to go through trials and errors and see where the judges gave the points to and where we didn't give the points to, or so we know exactly what we're watching or how they're judging, so we have an idea what's going on. So after event Rival School 4, I decided to have the judges evaluate how the system turned out. So here, check it out.
My name's Derrick, representing People of the Sun, and the category I judged was Foundation. The pros I saw in it, generally speaking, was that during tiebreakers, it really helped clarify who was the winner through points versus categories, as well as the breakdown of each category as well. At least for mine, like, it was a lot easier for me to pay attention to exactly what I need to judge on when it came to musicality, knowing well Foundation, and of course a big interpretation on what exactly Foundation was. I included, power as a foundation because, some people necessarily don't do footwork a lot, but if they have a very well-based foundation, it worked. Outside of that, it was really hard for me to pay attention because I had to constantly look down and score, look back up. I might have missed something, I might have not seen what I needed to see, and that could have affected my judging, I'm not entirely sure. And it just got really tiring going round after round after round of each person trying to find out what I needed to necessarily score on. Overall, I like it, just a little stuff that might be a little hard to get used to, especially actually focusing on what I need to judge on versus judging everything. So that's it.
My name is Nguyen from Runaway Tribe. I am judging the originality category. Artistic, I'm sorry. The good thing about, the pros is that it covered majority of the stuff that originality was included into originality. The cons is some of the stuff, some of the subcategory that was listed was needed to be a little more elaborated on how it was looked for or judged upon, because it caused a bit of a confusion sometime, and plus that there was so much to look for that sometimes I didn't have enough time to look and respond versus writing down scores and whatnot. So, but other than that, I think it's a very successful and efficient way to judge, and it's it clears up a lot of confusion and problems. So, but just like he said, just little stuff like subcategories and elaborative on what to look for exactly, more of a solid subcategory.
What up? My name's Slinky. I represent Blow Up Kings and Runaway Tribe crew. I was judging on dynamics. The pros of that was cool because it was something that I'm used to. I'm used to power and blow-ups and tricks and stuff like that, so it was really easy to judge on that. And I really like the categories. I like the categories 1 through 5. I think that's dope. It's a cool way of telling somebody that what they need to work on compared to somebody that what they don't need to work on. One of the cons that I had though was that it was really hard to classify what was dynamic. because certain footwork was sick that I thought was dope, but I didn't know if somebody else was judging on that, and maybe I should just focus on the power and blow up trick flip stuff kind of thing, or like somebody had like amazing top rock that I'm like, is that dynamic? I don't know. It's really hard to decide what was dynamic and whatnot. So maybe like instead of having like a dynamic category, maybe have like power and blow up separate rather than have a dynamic one. That's what I would think, anyways. And other than that, I think it's dope.
My name is Chris. I'm from Full Force, and my category was execution. And I'm really glad this was a category in this whole system, because I think cleanliness and the effectiveness of a round is really important. I think it's one of the major points of how to win a battle. And let's see, what's good about it is you could just see which contender is really clean. I'd say the only cons was like staying within your own category. Yeah, what is that? Sometimes I'd want to judge like if they're biting or if they're like blowing it up and whatnot, but I just think staying in the category is the hardest part, I think. But other than that, I think the system is really dope and accurate. You get a good measure of each category, and if anyone wants to debate, we have the numbers available for each crew if they want to see it. So I think that's it.
My category was strategy. Basically what I looked at was how did they answer back to one another? Did they use the entire floor? Were they making eye contact and treating the battle as if it was an actual battle, or were they just doing whatever, slapping hands, stuff like that? Like if it's a battle, you're supposed to go hard. So that's what I looked for. A pro was that it gave me a chance to actually see how people battle and break it down. A con was, like Ilson said, I wanted to judge other categories. I didn't know if to call a bite a lack of points or to mark that against them on strategy. Other than that, the system's pretty good. I did find myself wanting to judge other categories though. I didn't know if I should put in foundation into strategy, because if somebody crashes and then someone goes out and does a strong foundational round, like is that strategic, or like I didn't know what to take points from. I couldn't take points on if they crashed or not. So it was a little difficult to judge it. I found myself with a lot of ties. That's about it.
After hearing the judges' critiques, and for myself, I've watched through the videos. I do support what they've judged and what they've graded on for each battle. I watched it through thoroughly to make sure that we were all on the same page. We went through quite a strict curricular as far as it goes. We weren't being too lenient, even though they're just high schools, but there was a whole there was a whole discussion that I have, which I'll mention later. This is our first time. I'm not saying that we perfected, so there are some little flaws here and there that we felt like on our part, not on the system, just to make sure. We took in some few factors. For example, when we did our footage testing, watching through R16, one of the things is we're watching it through YouTube, so you know the excitement might not be there. So that's another factor. Not even being at the event could change the fact that what we see. We might not see everything on camera. So being in person at the event and watching it through a video or through a computer probably might not get the same results. So I believe that's what made our scoring a little bit off. So, and we understand that, you know, we didn't just say that they're wrong. So we know that, you know, we in a way take into consideration of it. Okay, if you guys are wondering how the point system came around or where is it from, there's a website. Check it out. It's gonna be somewhere around here. The link to it. Read it. You know, it doesn't hurt. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie that the first time when I heard about it, I wasn't sure if it's gonna really work or how it is, but I took the time to read it, and from what it seems like, decided to take a test run at this event, and the results seems to be pretty good. I have nothing against it. A lot of people felt like it worked out pretty well. Some people here and there felt like they weren't sure what was going on, but overall, I believe it turned out pretty great. I mean, I'll admit it, like, it was really hard to see where we were going with this, but comparison to martial arts or any kind of sport or what is it called, any kind of dancing, like traditional like jazz ballet, there is a set scoring system for them. There are. And you know, with this, I believe it works out, you know, in its own way. It seems really weird, but take the time to read it. You know, it's not going to disappoint you. I believe that it's going to turn out well, and you know, I think it'll be a good thing. So last but not least, to understand why am I doing all this with rival schools, and since this is the 4th series of it, one of the biggest things I decided to put the F.A.T.E system on, was because it's not just for the b-boys, but also for the audience to understand. Like, as we all know, all the b-boys know what we're watching. You know, we know what goes on. We see, you know, every move, moment, sound, everything. But as far as the audience go, they may not know. It might be their first time being here. So, you know, giving them something to look at, you know, as far as understanding who's winning or whatsoever, it'll give them an idea like, oh, okay, I can see why this guy's winning. I can see why this team's winning. Because for the most part, the regular audience, they'll say that the guy who does 100 head spin wins, you know, compared to a guy who completely killed the beat, or, you know, did some really, like, you know, intricate footwork whatsoever. But I believe that this could definitely introduce a whole new, way for parents and teachers, especially like for the b-boy community. They have something that they could actually watch and understand, you know. I mean, this could open a whole new door as far as it goes. I know it's just a young generation. I know it's just high school, but, you know, I believe it's a good start. So I want to thank everybody who came out to Rival School 4. And big shout out to my crew, Runaway Tribe, for coming out as usual, supporting my family. F.A.T.E.S, my other family. And F2esh Clothing for coming out. F2esh. Yep, check out their website. There is some nice stuff. Big shout out to Soulrane and Bzbeats. Definitely two of my favorite DJs. They've been supporting my jam for about four years now, so I really feel glad, appreciate they're still supporting. So big shout out to them. Check out Salty Fam Radio, very nice stuff. Opportunity Village for giving us the venue, very glad, and they actually want to do another event again in the next 6 months or another year. So I guess we'll be expecting Rival School at Opportunity Village again. And last but not least, of course, Bboy Dyzee from Supernaturalz crew for keeping in touch with me and giving me a chance to test out the system. You know, it's been a big honor, I have to say, a great honor for try it out, and hopefully from what you see in this video and this evaluation or review, hope you really like it, and thank you again. And any comments, concern about this, you could leave it, but with anything, please leave some reasoning. Don't just, like, you know, don't just say that, you know, I hate it or it sucks, you know. Give a reason behind it why you believe it sucks. So, you know, it's not just everybody just, you know, internet bashing each other. So, alright, thank you very much again.